Waverly, Tennessee. Population 4,105. A small town where, just like Graniteville or Castleton, for example, not much goes on. But for the same reasons as Graniteville and Castleton, put this town on the map 41 years ago today, when a huge explosion caused by a train derailment rocked this town to its core. This is the story of the Waverly train derailment and explosion. On February 22, 1978, a Louisville and Nashville freight train derailed in the center of town in Waverly, Tennessee. Derailment cleanup began almost immediately, where rail cars were moved and subsequently either scrapped or repaired. The locomotives pulling the train were unharmed, and their numbers are unknown, but they're presumably two GP38s that pulled it at the time. 24 cars in total derailed, including a .112 tank car carrying liquefied petroleum gas. It was owned by the Union Tank Car Company, and its number was UTLX 83013. On February 23rd, the day after the derailment, the line was reopened for through trains. For 2 days, witnesses took out their cameras, if they had one, because this technology was new for the 70s, or just went to the derailment site to marvel at what could happen if a train goes off the tracks, as did this one. One man, by the name of James Anderson, took out a video camera that he had and started filming the wreckage and cleanup efforts. Many people walked around near the damaged tank car, which had a few breaches in it from the derailment. But little did anyone know that that tank car was a ticking time bomb. Flash forward 2 days later, February 24th. Hazmat teams were ready to safely dispose of the liquefied petroleum gas inside the UTLX 83013. At 2:58 p.m., however, something caught an inspector's eye. Some of the LPG was leaking out of the tank car, which he described as white vapor. And seconds later, tank car explodes as the result of a BLEVE, or boiling liquid expanding vapor explosion. The cause was later determined to be the damage in the tank car from the derailment. The blast killed 6 instantly, including Waverly Fire Chief Wilbur York and Waverly Police Chief Guy Barnett. A few members of the L&N rec crew were also killed. The disaster in total claimed 10 more lives, bringing the death toll up to 16. An additional 43 other people were injured to varying degrees. Both of Waverly's fire trucks were destroyed in the blast, and several pieces of the tank car were scattered all over the town by the explosion. Some pieces of debris were launched up to 330 feet away from ground zero. Most of the town's residents were evacuated in the fear of another LPG tank car exploding. However, thankfully, this didn't happen. 16 buildings were destroyed, 20 were damaged. The damage was estimated at $1.8 million, or $6.21 million today. In addition to the damage to the car during the derailment, which the NTSB concluded was the immediate cause of the explosion, it was also a miscommunication which contributed to it. A hazmat cleanup crew was informed that the tank car involved was a double-wall tank car, so they would know how dangerous the tank car would be if it ruptured. However, 83013 was only a single-wall tank car. Today, near the site of the explosion, a restored L&N caboose sits near it, with a memorial plaque sitting near it, designed to remember the disaster and the 16 people who lost their lives. Inside the caboose, there are a few photographs of the disaster, both before and after. A poster also explains in there how the Waverly explosion raised awareness for hazmat training. Now, proper safety precautions are always taken with hazardous materials, such as liquefied petroleum gas inside tank cars after train derailments. So 41 years later, the Waverly explosion is still not totally forgotten about.